Greetings, everyone. When I watched the movie Get Out, it was very eye opening to me because I recognize a lot of symbols and I see so many times people enter into relationship with others and their life change for the worst. Now, don't believe that it's only your lover that can seek to control you, but you know, family can do it, associates can do things to you. I no longer want to try to convince people that evil exists. Those who are in denial of it, it's none of my business. But I wanted to share this story because I've been talking to this mom for a very long time, and it gets even more disturbing every time I talk to her. And not only would the spirit reveal certain things to me, but to confirm to the woman, I would give her these messages, and within weeks or a short period, the thing would come true. And so when I'm speaking to this mom, I said, can you give me permission to share your story? When I spoke to her the last time, I said to myself, there's a woman that I knew when I was very young. This older lady befriended me, and she would ask me to do things for her, write letters to her, and letters for her. And her daughter put her in a nursing home, and she eventually passed. And for years, I wish I had done more. She had reached out to me. I digress a little bit, but I'm going to make a point. So she reached out to me and asked me to write a letter to give to her lawyer with her intention to secure someone that she allowed to live in her home in Jamaica. She said the woman was very good to her, and the woman had lived on her property for many years, and she didn't want her daughter to throw her out in the event that she passed away. And so I wrote the letter, and she got the legal people to make sure that her wishes were carried through. She also offered to turn over her legacy to me because her daughter was so wicked. She said she didn't want to leave her an inheritance. She wanted to give it to me. But I don't want to be in those kind of mix up. And because she was a senior, I don't want someone to say that I cajoled her into giving me her things. It was just too scary. My family often joke about it to say you could be a wealthy woman now if you had accepted it. But my wealth is going to come without sorrows. So back to the story with this woman. So I recognize this lady's story in that story, and I think the spirit allowed us to meet so that I can put her on her P's and Q's. Now, this is a single mother who raised her boy all by herself and had a beautiful relationship with her son. Her son is very ambitious, did very well in school, secured himself a wonderful job, and he met this young lady, and the relationship blossomed very quickly, and they were married. But the thing is, there were red flags from the very beginning. Now, I don't care if these individuals are in, how do I say this? Because we don't want to make it be about color, but it's a biracial couple, okay? And it seems like things had gone very quickly, and the mom is not a controlling mom, so she just allowed her son to make his decision, but the red flags were there. The mom was almost done paying for her house. Now, this woman has worked diligently, sacrificed so much to secure her home, and lived in her home, I believe, 21 years, maybe more, but at least 21 years. And when she got sick, she went to the nursing home. She was taking steps to make sure she could live in her home, but it's clear that from the moment that young man met that young woman, her plans were sinister. They were never good. Even when she's just coming to visit the home, she's bringing realtor to value the home of this woman and her son. But sometimes you cannot talk to your children. They do not listen. They make up their mind that this thing is good. And when it comes to people putting X or spells on you, it is going to take all the divine intervention to break. And so this woman put her claws into this young man very early on. The mother, loving her son the way she did and was so ill, decided that she was going to transfer the title into her son's name so that in the event that something happens to her, he wouldn't have to pay this huge tax, right? And so she transferred the title to him, and she's in a nursing home. And shortly after, the new wife, moved into the home, she took out everything out of the woman's bedroom and made it into her office. They had a tenant that was a very good tenant for years. And shortly after she moved in, the tenant moved out. I guess she asked him to leave. So the woman went so far. When we say woman, I mean it's a young person. She went so far as to pack up the pots and pans that belonged to this woman that I'm telling you about and brought it to the nursing home. Why or what would possess a son to allow his wife, his new wife that he barely knows, to pack up his mother's things and bring them to the nursing home? So it's clear that right away she had her claws in him, and her intention is very impure, if I can use that word. She got him, this black man, to not just change his last name. So let's say his last name is Peterson. She got him to change his last name, and she picked his surname to be from her first and her last name. So she made up his last name, and she said she would never take his name when they got married. She was going to allow her husband to take a surname that she made up with her name. At first, I thought she was using the first two letters of her mother's name, of the mother-in-law's name, but I realized that her first name also had that CL. So she made up her own surname, and he agreed with it. It is very clear that this woman has him under spell. And so all of a sudden they start traveling around the world because she happens to maybe have the freedom to move around more. He started traveling and he eventually lost his job because he's always gone somewhere. But he's going to places. So he lost his job. Next thing you know, he's picking up hobby of knitting and crocheting. And when he knits some ridiculous looking thing, she put it on his head, take pictures and show it to his mom. This person started acting, her son that is, started acting so strange. And the connection between them was so different. And at one point, when she asked him what was going on, if he was upset with her about something, why he was acting so strange, he said that he was resentful that for 2 years she stayed in the house when she could have left. You can clearly hear his wife speaking. The wife, who has a relationship with her parents, did everything she could to separate him from his mother. And so the home that she just handed over to them, they're now getting ready to sell next year. But the woman is wise because she took some steps prior to them coming up with this idea of selling the home. I can go into it more, but I'm going to leave it here. I'm trying to say to people, now, when she tells me the story, I'm saying, oh my gosh, if only you could get into that home. I would tell you to look, where to look to find all these things that she's using to bind your son. He's like a robot at this point, and there's no reasoning with him. It's clear. And last time I spoke to her, I said, they're about to reveal some bombshell. Expect it, because I felt it in my spirit. I had the vision, and I called her and I told her. And sure enough, they came to tell her that they're planning to sell the house that this black woman slaved and sacrificed to acquire, and to give to her son, to break that generational curse of poverty. And this witch, now when I said to her, she sounded like a witch. And I just described what I saw in the spirit. And when I saw the picture, it gave me goosebumps. This young person, but listen, I'm going to start taking you guys along with me to some of these adventures that I go on and show you, because too many of you are tied up, bound up, left, or offered as sacrifice, and you don't know. We have to know these things. Why the adversary know these things? Why the people who are in power and, you know, affluence and great influence know these things, and you want to be in denial? No. I have decided that those who need the truth will have the truth. So I will not share everything on this platform. I'll give you enough for you to reach out. Those who reach out, they need help. They need the answers. They need the signs, the symbols, so you can protect yourself. I'm not walking around like an idiot for anyone to destroy. Whatever the Spirit revealed to me, I'm going to go and do more research, to study, to make myself approved. But I'm just talking about this mother whose son is now under some complete control and spell. And what I want to say to you, some of the things that people use, they're simple, they're in plain sight, but you would never suspect. I guarantee you, if I went in that house, I would see those amulets. I would see the tools that she's using. When they go on vacation, she's going to the Mayan ruin. She's going to burial sites to carry out her wicked plans. Sorry about it. I lost my phone battery died. Yeah, she's going to the places where witches go. At the end of this video, I'm going to post some important information for people to know, just to safeguard yourself. It is very important for you to clear and cleanse your energy in your space and on your body. Do not let any and anybody touch you. Okay, be very wary of people who love to touch. There's some people feel like being friendly is a great thing. Blessings to you, but you don't see people's heart. And so the hugs, someone just has to hug you. Just leave something on your person. Someone just have to touch you to carry out the purpose. Do you always remember me telling you guys about the man who left the food to feed the spirits on my windowsill, hoping that I would touch it? And spirit showed it to me and told me what to do. So, sorry if it means that you have to be a little bit paranoid. Just the kind of world we live in, unfortunately. And so this woman, as she continues to battle with seeing her son under such tight reins and control, nothing beats prayer or fast. That's it for now. Speak to me in the comment section. Any questions, any ideas, anything you've experienced that's similar, let us know. Stay blessed, everyone. As Black people, we spend so much time looking negatively at our spiritual practice and fail to see what is happening around us. Open your eyes.